tough loss out there, but I think the story at the end of the game is the fact that Maxime Chenot and Tati Castellanos both collected yellow cards, which makes them ineligible against Montreal next weekend. How do you plan on replacing, two key players in a time where reinforcements aren't of abundance? And what do you think the team's chances of are recovering from this loss moving forward?
I think it's way too early to talk about what they're going to do next week. I'm enough to evaluate what's happened today. But we have enough players, so we're going to have a good team coming on Saturday. So that's again. I think we start very slow. Maybe they start very quick. We were not ready when the game started, and the first 25 minutes we were always a yard behind. We play straight lines, lose the ball, and then get counter-attack on us. And we conceded a goal, and we deserved to concede a goal as well when we get into that period. And then after that, I think we get more into the game. Last 15-20 minutes of the first half, we start to have more control. We start to do what we agreed to do before the game, to move the ball more from side to side, and move the team also higher up in the pitch when we have the ball. If you go too straight, you have never any chance to get the team high enough, and then it's too much big spaces in the middle of the pitch. So in the second half, I think we play better than the first, but again we do stupid mistakes. So that gives them 2-1, 2-0, and then of course we put ourselves in a difficult situation when we have to chase. We come in 2-1, and I think it's a goal in the air that we can get 2-2, but they get too many dangerous counter-attacks in the end, and we lose, and we deserve to lose in the end.
Okay, Michael Allen.
Yeah, Ronny, really tough loss tonight. You outshot the team again. Possession was 59-40. You dominated every statistical category of the game except, balls in the back of the net. This has been a problem before with the team. I'm curious to know your thoughts about what's the answer to that. How can this team be more effective in scoring?
Today, I think we don't create so much. So 59%, they are dangerous on the breaks all the time. So for me, they deserve to win today. We can have 100% or 80, 90% possession if we don't create anything. For me, every time they were on the ball and they break on us, we were too open, and we didn't. We were back to lack of discipline and too much feelings instead of a brain when we play. And that's then you end up in a situation that you don't like to be. What the cause of that is, I don't know. That's something we have to find out of. As I think we, over time, have played some good football, and we have been the best team in many of the games we haven't won. And then, of course, we can talk about how we're going to get more effective. And for me, that's about working with skills. Putting the ball in the net is a skill, something we have to keep on doing every practice when we have opportunity to do that. But now we haven't trained for 2-3 weeks. We have only restituted and then played games all the time. And I think, with all the traveling and things as well, that we can see that we are doing, maybe using a little bit too much time on the ball. The decision is not as quick as it was before, and that can be maybe that we are a little bit fatigued now. Having said that, to be fatigued, that's not the excuse to not use the head. So I think we were too wild, especially in the beginning of the game, and then they created too many chances against us today, and we didn't create anything ourselves.
Michael Andrew.
Ronny, the team fought back pretty well. They got the that goal about 5 minutes after Columbus took the lead and got 2 up. I'm just curious, towards the end of the game, tactically, if there was a change that you would make or a shift in the formation to give NYCFC more offense in maybe in that last 10 minutes.
I think it was difficult to do it because, as I said, we we have there's not so many offensive players on the bench. We took on Maxi, of course, and then we had Goody on. So it's a little bit tough to do offensive changes inside the game when we have a little bit lack of that on the bench. Is more midfielders and players that is playing in behind. And then, I think we have tried a lot of things when we have been under in games. We want to win it. I think it's to stay in the structure we have is important thing, so we don't lose focus and lose shape. And I think if we had kept it 2-1, we will get a chance or two in the end of the game. But when you get 3, then it is of course tough. And we need to protect ourselves more if we're gonna get, because you can't forget defense because of you need a goal. You have to still defend in with balance and things, and then after the last minutes we can put players up. But Keaton played more 10 than he played a 6. So in the end we were standing behind with 3 players, and that was Ringy and the 2 central defenders. So I don't think we can do anything more than that to attack.
Okay, Trey.
Hi, Coach. You mentioned in the second half the team, and you instructed them to play more side to side and create more chances. And obviously, this week was the return of Maxi Morales. Can you kind of just go into what he meant, how he just changed this game specifically, but also what he brings back to the team for you for the rest of the season?
He's a quality player. He's a leader. You see it when he comes on the pitch. He works really hard. He gets everybody organized around him, and he's very, very creative. So it's of course a big thing to get him back in the team, and that gives an energy boost to the whole team.
Alonso.
Hi, Coach. Tough loss. But other question. So since the beginning of the game, Columbus Crew was playing long balls over Chanat and Collins. Was anything talked during the halftime, during the game?
About what? That they play in behind? We knew that before. So that was, we have to... we can't stay deep. That's not in our DNA as a team to stay deep and protect ourselves the whole time. We have central defenders that can handle long balls. Today, as a defense, we were too offensive. Thinking too offensive, so we didn't have enough players in balance when we attacked. We had 2 fullbacks standing high and wide. The center defender stepping forward, and then often the other center defender and Ringy maybe was staying in between positions, and that's whoever you play against, then you will get trouble. So we need to do things better in the way we are, and of course Sardes is a good striker. He's strong and he's quick, so he's a handful. And today we had some problems with him, but I think in the beginning we dropped too much, way too much, and then we get a big team all over the pitch, and then but I think after half an hour we push the team higher up the pitch. We get the back 4 higher, and then we deal with it good to we started to chase the game in the last 15-20 minutes. Then they get to too many chances. But that's I think we always gonna meet when we are playing team and we have 60% possession. They're going to play in behind us, and we have to deal with that with numbers and with individual skills.
John Miller.
Hey, Ronny, earlier you mentioned that at the start of the game, the team was playing too direct in the build-up. Is that a problem with decision-making from the passers, or is it a problem from movement on the receiving end between the lines? What build-up patterns are you not seeing that you want to see out there?
What you see in the second half and also the end of it, you saw we played 3 against 2 against those 2 strikers. In the beginning, we just play a pass to the side and go forward, and we have to break 2 lines to get to the strikers. And if you can play at their 2 strikers, we will only break 1 line, and that we did better. We moved the ball better. We find Keaton behind the two strikers, and we had Ringy between the two central defenders, and then we had a box there that they were suffering more in the second half. But that was something we wanted to do from the start of the game, and we didn't manage to do that in a proper way. So again, that's something we have to learn from.
Okay, last one, Michael Allen.
Yeah, Ronnie, I just wanted to talk to you about what you were saying about the backline playing too high. There were several times tonight where Chanot and Collins were being pushed up and bringing the ball up, like dribbling up into the final third of the attacking half. Do you think that left you open to being exposed for a counter, like you were saying?
Yeah, I never told them to dribble up to the last third of the pitch. But they were going with the ball. We can play that a little bit earlier, but Ringy, if they do that, we have Ringy between the two central defender. And what's going to be important then is where Keaton are, and also where the opposite fullback is. And at times we were too big distance, especially in the start of the game. And then when you drop, we didn't have too high line, we had too low line. And then we drop too much, it gets too much space to cover for our midfield. So when we start to get higher up in the pitch, and also when you play straight lines, you have Ringy between, then of course when you lose the ball, then we don't are in position to win the ball in the last third of the pitch. So to play yourself more with more passes up will do that. We can push the team also higher up in the pitch. So that's what I mean about it.